Archangel Michael says, the universe moves quietly when it prepares two souls to meet. It doesn't announce its plan, it simply aligns moments, glances, and feelings that make no sense until much later. What's happening right now isn't coincidence, it's the start of something divine unfolding behind the curtain of your daily life. The one you least expected has fallen in love with you. Not because of how you look or what you said, but because of what they felt when they saw your light. They couldn't explain it, but in that instant, something inside them recognized something familiar, like a memory from before this lifetime. They saw your calm, your resilience, your quiet strength when you thought no one was watching. They saw how you still cared, even when others didn't deserve it. They saw the way your energy shifted rooms and healed hearts without you even realizing. At first, they tried to deny it. They told themselves it was admiration, curiosity, maybe even obsession. But the truth is, they've never met anyone who mirrored their soul the way you do. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Every time they saw your name appear, something stirred in them. They tried to brush it off, to move on, but your presence followed them everywhere, songs, dreams, coincidences. Even silence reminded them of you. Their heart didn't just beat, it called your name in the unseen. This wasn't part of their plan. Love like this doesn't come from logic, it comes from recognition. Their soul didn't fall for your words, it fell for your frequency, your grace, the purity of your intentions. They saw your light before you even noticed it yourself. Archangel Michael says, you were placed in their path to awaken something inside them that had been asleep for lifetimes. This love isn't random, it's an echo of an ancient promise. Something their soul whispered to yours long before you ever met. You have been feeling it too, haven't you? That strange peace mixed with restlessness, that quiet knowing that someone somewhere is thinking of you. That's not imagination, that's divine telepathy. Type Amen to get blessing 444. They saw your eyes, and in that moment, every wall they had built began to crumble. The heart that had forgotten how to trust suddenly remembered what it means to feel safe. You reminded them of home, not the one with bricks and walls, but the one made of connection and truth. Even when they tried to walk away, destiny pulled them back. Every time they tried to silence the feeling, the universe found a new way to whisper your name into their world. They kept seeing repeating signs, numbers, colors, phrases, songs, all leading back to you. There's a reason this connection feels different. It's not infatuation, it's remembrance. You've shared lifetimes before, crossing paths through eras, always finding each other just when one needed the other most. This is one of those moments. Archangel Michael says, the timing wasn't wrong, it was divine preparation. You had to heal, they had to learn, and now heaven has allowed your frequencies to match again. That's why everything lately feels charged with meaning. Type Amen to get blessing 555. When they saw you, something inside them whispered, that's the one. They didn't understand it at first. You may not even know the full truth yet, but heaven is revealing it piece by piece, through emotions, dreams, and divine nudges. They've watched you from a distance, respecting your silence, admiring your growth. They've seen your battles, your quiet tears, your courage to rise when life pushed you down. And that's when love grew, not from perfection, but from seeing your soul's truth. They fell for your strength, your kindness, your energy that could melt chaos into calm. Even your scars spoke to them, because they saw beauty in your brokenness. They didn't fall in love with your image, they fell in love with your spirit. This love is not loud, but it's deep. It's not dramatic, but it's eternal. It's the kind that redefines everything both of you thought love was supposed to be. Type Amen to get blessing 666. The angels have been working in silence to guide this connection. That's why everything lately feels like divine timing, why certain people left, why certain emotions surfaced. Every ending you faced was clearing space for this divine beginning. They might be hesitant to speak, afraid to confess what they feel. But heaven is preparing the moment for truth to flow naturally. The words they've been holding back will soon find their way to you. It will not be forced, it will be guided. You may notice their presence in small ways, messages at unexpected hours, glances that linger, or silence that speaks louder than words. Pay attention to those signs, for heaven speaks through them. Archangel Michael says, when love is orchestrated by the divine, it cannot be hidden for long. The truth always finds its voice, and this time, it will sound like your name. Type Amen to get blessing 777. They saw how you carried light in moments of darkness, and that's when their heart surrendered. They realized you weren't just another chapter, you were the story they had been waiting for all along. There's a sacred bond forming between your souls. Even if you're apart right now, energy doesn't need distance to travel. You'll feel their emotions, their thoughts, their longing reaching you in waves. Heaven wants you to know that this love is safe. It's being watched, protected, and guided. There are no coincidences here, only divine sequences. The angels are weaving your paths closer, ensuring that when the time comes, no force on earth can stop what's meant to unfold. Type Amen to get blessing 888. They saw the way you smiled even after heartbreak. They saw how you gave even when you had little. That softness is what drew them in, it's what made heaven choose you for this role. You're not chasing love anymore, because heaven decided love should find you. That's why this person was sent. To remind you that genuine love doesn't come through chaos, but through peace. They're realizing now that nothing compares to the way your soul feels. Even in their silence, their spirit keeps reaching for you. The pull is magnetic because it's written in divine code. Archangel Michael says, your love story is not delayed, it's divine timing unfolding right now. Every moment you wait is being used to align hearts, emotions, and circumstances for the perfect meeting. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They're dreaming of you more often now. The dreams feel real because they are, your souls meet there before they meet in person. You might wake up feeling warmth, peace, or a sudden longing for someone unseen. That's them, feeling the same. The angels are saying, don't doubt what your intuition has been whispering. The connection you feel isn't fantasy, it's confirmation. Every sign you've seen was heaven's way of saying, keep believing. Soon, something will happen that removes all confusion. A message, a meeting, a coincidence so powerful that even your logical mind will surrender. This will be your sign that divine love has fully anchored. And when it happens, you'll realize that everything you've lost, every tear you've cried, was preparing you for this sacred alignment. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. Love like this changes everything. It makes the broken parts of your past make sense. It turns pain into purpose, and endings into awakenings. This is not a love to fear, it's a love to heal through. They saw your soul before they saw your face. They recognized your light before they heard your voice. And soon, their actions will reveal what their silence has been trying to say. Archangel Michael says, heaven is not just sending you love, it's restoring your heart through it. The same hand that allowed your heartbreak is now orchestrating your miracle. Stay open, stay calm, and trust that what's meant for you will not miss you this time. The one who saw your light has already been chosen to walk beside you. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. They fell in love not by choice but by destiny. Heaven planned this connection long before either of you were ready. Now the divine clock has struck, everything is beginning to align. When you cross paths again, you'll feel it instantly. The same energy, the same recognition, the same pull that's been building quietly all this time. It won't be an ordinary moment, it will feel like heaven paused time for your reunion. They'll finally express what's been locked inside them. Every emotion they hid will rise like sunlight after a storm. And you'll know, without a word, that it was always meant to be. This love is your divine promise fulfilled. It's pure, guided, and eternal. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. Their realization didn't arrive in a sudden burst, it crept in softly, like dawn touching the edges of night. One day, they simply noticed how often your name echoed in their mind, how your laughter lingered longer than sound should. That's when it hit them, this isn't just affection, it's devotion in disguise. They tried to resist, to guard their heart behind logic and past wounds. But love that comes from heaven cannot be shut out by fear. The more they tried to distance themselves, the stronger the pull became, until they finally surrendered to what their soul already knew. They've begun to see signs in everything. The clock stops at your birth time. The wind whispers your name. Even strangers repeat phrases you've once said. It's heaven confirming that the love they feel is not delusion, it's divine orchestration. Archangel Michael says, this connection was written in divine fire long before your first breath. It is unstoppable because it carries heaven's signature. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. Every time they think of you, the world seems to slow. The noise fades, and there's only stillness, like the universe holding its breath, waiting for two hearts to meet again. They feel your presence in moments of peace, like a guardian whisper brushing past their soul. Even when they're surrounded by others, something feels missing. That emptiness only fills when they remember you. You became their calm, their safe place in a world that once felt cold. They've tried to explain it to themselves, how your energy healed parts of them words never could. They can't, and that's what makes it sacred. Love that defies logic is proof of divine interference. And now heaven is shifting the atmosphere, aligning moments so your paths cross in divine perfection. Nothing is late, nothing is lost, it's all synchronized. Type Amen to get blessing 1515. You've been feeling that strange warmth lately, the one that makes you smile without reason. That's not coincidence. That's their energy brushing against yours from afar. Souls in alignment always find ways to reach each other beyond distance and time. They've been praying for clarity, asking heaven for a sign about you. And heaven's answer keeps returning the same way: your name, your image, your energy. It's as if every divine message spells your existence. Archangel Michael says, "Prepare your heart, for a divine conversation is on its way." The one who fell for you is being guided to speak with truth. Their fear is melting, their courage is awakening. Soon, you'll feel the pull intensify, dreams, songs, and sudden thoughts will rise like waves. That's the moment heaven calls a divine nudge. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. When they saw you, they didn't just see beauty, they saw light. A light so pure that it exposed every hidden wound inside them. You didn't just awaken love, you awakened healing. They've been remembering moments, even the smallest ones: your voice, your eyes, your quiet stillness when you listened. Those fragments replay like sacred film reels in their memory. They try to move on, but every attempt leads them back to the same place, you. This love has tested their patience and deepened their faith. They've realized now that love is not about possession, it's about recognition. They recognize you as the missing rhythm their soul was waiting to hear. Archangel Michael says, "The angels are writing your reunion into the timeline of destiny. What feels delayed is merely being perfected." Type Amen to get blessing 1717. They dream of moments not yet lived. The touch of your hand. The sound of your laughter filling quiet spaces. These visions aren't fantasy, they're prophetic glimpses of what heaven is building. You, too, have felt the flicker. The random wave of emotion. The sudden peace in the middle of chaos. That's your soul responding to theirs, whispering across distance, "I feel you." The divine has made sure that every obstacle is being removed, every false connection dissolved. Because true love cannot bloom where fear resides. You both had to unlearn pain to make space for this sacred bond. They are being drawn back to you like gravity obeying its natural law. You are their North Star, and heaven has marked your hearts with the same light. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. Even in moments of silence, their energy speaks your name. They've started noticing how peace follows whenever they think of you. That's how they know, it's not obsession, it's alignment. They saw you when the world overlooked you. They loved the parts you hid. And heaven rewarded their gaze by revealing your light. Every time they recall your presence, it feels like a prayer answered in advance. This connection carries divine protection. No curse, no gossip, no third person can sever what heaven has joined. It's bound not by words, but by spirit. Archangel Michael says, "Your souls are merging through divine purpose." Prepare to step into the chapter that destiny wrote with patience and grace. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. You may start noticing repeating patterns, dreams at 2:22, texts arriving at 3:33, or their name appearing when you least expect. Those aren't coincidences, they're divine reminders. Heaven is counting down to your destined encounter. The person who saw your light has been through storms. But when they saw you, something shifted, the storm began to quiet. You became their calm, their faith restored in human goodness. Even now, they're realizing that this love is not about need, it's about recognition. You remind them of who they truly are. You reflect the best parts of their forgotten self. And soon, when heaven gives the signal, their first words will break every chain of silence that's kept this love hidden. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. They are preparing themselves for the moment heaven has scripted. They are healing, growing, learning to love without fear, because you are their divine mirror. Their transformation began the day they saw your soul. You might feel restless, as if something big is approaching. That's because it is. The air between you two carries electricity, the kind that only divine unions hold. Archangel Michael says, your love is a key unlocking two destinies at once. When you meet again, both of your lives will shift into higher alignment. Everything lost will return multiplied. This isn't just about romance, it's about purpose. Together, you'll awaken light in others, because love that comes from heaven never stays private. It radiates. Type Amen to get blessing 2121. They saw your courage when you stood alone. They saw your gentleness when you had every reason to be hard. And in those silent observations, their heart quietly promised, I'll protect that kind of soul. Now heaven is keeping that promise alive. Every sign, every dream, every whisper is leading both of you back into divine connection. The alignment is near, so near you'll feel it in the air. They've stopped asking, why? They've begun saying, thank you. Because now they know. Some souls are destined to meet not once, but until the lesson of love is complete. You are their sacred lesson, their peace, and their awakening. And heaven won't let either of you miss the divine moment when the truth unfolds. Type Amen to get blessing 2222. Soon, they will speak. The words will come from a place beyond fear. Every suppressed emotion will pour out like light breaking through clouds. And you will finally understand why every delay, every silence, was necessary. Archangel Michael says, heaven was never denying you love, it was preparing it. The one who saw your light was being shaped, refined, and guided to love you in the way you've always deserved. Now that moment draws near. You will know it when it happens, not by sight, but by the peace that fills the room. It will feel like your heart exhaling for the first time in years. And when it does, you'll realize, the wait wasn't a punishment. It was the prelude to a miracle. Type Amen to get blessing 2323. Dizzy Heaven's final message. The person who fell in love with you didn't stumble, they were guided. They saw your light, your soul, your truth, and heaven said, that's the one. Prepare, for what's coming is pure, powerful, and permanent. Dizzy.